Hi everyone, I'm here with Villa legend Brian Little. Got a little message for everyone.
Yeah, I think you should all subscribe to Up the Villa podcast.
See,
surely a good one. It'll be a good one.
If Brian says it, then it must be true. Thanks, Brian.
Cheers.
Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, just like the legend Brian Little has just said with Justin. Brian asked Justin for a selfie, so Justin obliged and said he'd have one. Justin's still waiting for that curry as well from last night, still not arrived. And Ryan has been practicing his John McGinn celebration after he got it horribly wrong last night. And we got Luke on as well, so it's great to have him back on. So we'll start off with you, Luke. Your thoughts on Crystal Palace?
Yeah, so I think obviously a really positive result and a really good performance as well. I think definitely the speed of play is something that I noticed in the Palace game. I think something that I feel really good about is how quickly the midfield and the defence are all moving the ball now. We just look so much more confident in some of those tight situations. And it's just, I think the new tactics with the midfielders sort of covering the wide areas much better. I think that's working really well. And yeah, I think just as a whole, obviously it's a great result because we've got a few sort of tougher fixtures coming up now, as we'll probably discuss in a minute, I guess. And I think getting 3 points out of that one and the game before against Brighton, it's just taking a bit of the pressure off. It's got Gerrard, under the table, kind of with the fans on side, nicely ahead of those games, really. So yeah, really, really positive after those couple of games. Yeah,
Buzzing. So great start. I've been watching the highlights of McGinn's goal. I've been watching the highlights of everything. I can't wait to see Gerrard, Cam. Hopefully they do that and put that out tomorrow. So can't wait for that as well. So tough game coming up. Big game for many different reasons. Man City, a quality side. The football that they play is sensational at times. I watch them tear PSG apart, although I do think they're not as good as what everybody makes out. And they're having a real good season, aren't they? As usual, they're up there with Liverpool and Chelsea. It's going to be them three for the league. I think it's going to go down to the wire. It looks like Mr. Grealish is not going to be playing in this game. He wasn't on the bench today, so I feel like he might not make the squad, might make the bench, but it doesn't look like he's gonna start. So, Justin, how are you feeling about Man City arriving at Villa Park on Wednesday?
Well, I feel damn sight happier than arriving after the last two games than I think we was all dreading before Mr. Gerrard took over. I think we're in a better place now. I think that the two wins are going to massively help the confidence level, and we probably need them going into a game like this. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Man City, one of the best teams in the world, not in this country, in the world. It's going to be a tough ask, isn't it? We can't. As we all know, we're all optimistic on here, and I'm optimistic, and I like to think we could beat them. But I think to beat a team like City, everything's got to go your way, hasn't it? You've got to. All the 11 have got to have really good games. They've probably got to have a bit of an off day. And when you do get your chances, you've got to put them away. We ain't going to get many chances against City. They keep the ball for long periods of time. We know what they're all about. It's pointless even looking at City's form and trying to deduce whether, it's a good time to play them or not, because it's never really a good time to play them, is it? You've just got to play well, turn up. But with Gerrard in charge, the first two games, it's early days. He hasn't had long. I think I watched an interview with Target after the game, and he said they've only had 4 sessions when they've actually been together working on how they play and the style of play and what he wants out of them. So, if he's lucky, he's going to get 1 or 2 more before Wednesday. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it? So, City played today, so they've got one less day to prepare. They seem to have a few injuries, so that's something hopefully that's good. Looks like, as you say, Mr. Grealish isn't going to be playing, so that takes that out of the equation. The reaction to him I think City will get a pretty raucous reception when they walk out and throughout, and I hope they do. We're going to rely on the fans under the lights. I'd rather play a team like this under the lights as well. I think it creates a better atmosphere on a night game than it does in like a Saturday afternoon. We've just got to play well, haven't we? Everybody's got to go out there and give it their all, and we've got to hope it's our night, and it can be. There's no reason why it can't be. We've just beaten Palace away, and they went to City not that long ago and beat them pretty convincingly 2-0. So, they're not unbeatable by a long stretch, but we all know we've got to play well and they've got to have an off day.
They have. Ryan, how are you feeling about it?
Justin summed it up perfectly then. I'm excited. After the last two games, I'm much more excited than I was 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's a free hit for us. We'll give it a go, and I'm sure we'll be proud of the team, whatever happens. But I am looking forward to it under the lights. Obviously, what happened in the summer, with or without Grealish playing, it's still going to be a red hot atmosphere. I think the build up to it's going to be terrific. It's 8:15 as well, so sneak in a couple of extra beers as well, just to get the vibe going. And just as a little disclaimer there, Luke, I am 38 years old. I've got 2 children, so I am eligible for the dad dancing probably zone. But I have been practicing my McGinn celebration. Nearly broke my fingers doing it, but yeah, if he pops one up, you'll see me on my seat in case Evan performing that celebration to a T. But I'm absolutely buzzing for it. Can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be loud, isn't it? There's gonna be that little bit of with the fans,
Just a sprinkle of spice in there for this one, mate. A sprinkle of spice.
There is, and I feel like there'll be a bit of banter. I think it'll be like one of them funny ones. You know what I mean? Like, you're having a bit of a laugh in your seat at what the fans are doing and throwing, really. So, Luke, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite optimistic actually about that one. I mean, back to what sort of Ryan said, a few weeks ago before that Southampton game. I think, like probably most Villa fans, I sort of was sat there thinking, who could we beat at the moment? There wasn't many teams in the league I was looking at thinking, yeah, there's 3 points there. Whereas, fast forward to now, and yeah, I feel like we could give anyone a game at the moment if we can keep playing, definitely at the same sort of tempo as we did yesterday. But yeah, obviously City are a great side. They've got a huge squad, even though they've got a few players, that have been missing for today's game, and they've probably got a few doubts looking like for the Wednesday game as well. They've still got so many great players that can fill in, can't they, and deliver. So it'll be a tough game, but I think it is actually a good time to play them. I think a lot of fixtures, so they probably will rotate a bit. Few injuries, few doubts, and we've just got the bounce of the new manager, the way we're playing at the moment, looking good. So I think it's and combined with the under the lights, as you've just mentioned, I think it's a good recipe for a really good game for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. One thing, in Gerrard's interview straight after the game, the first thing that came out his mouth was that he was looking ahead to the game on Wednesday before he even summarised the game that he just won at Selhurst Park. So his attention is thoroughly on that game. And it's a massive game, and I think we're going into it in really good form. The fans are going to be bang up for it. The players are going to be up for it as well. They're going to trust the game plan, and I think we're gonna have a real good go. So we will have a touch on Grealish then. Obviously, he was City's record signing in the summer, and it is the Man City preview. So we'll touch on how we feel like he's doing. For me, I just feel like it's such a weird signing for City to make. And I think we're slowly starting to see this, that he's nowhere near the player that he was for Aston Villa at Man City. And he looks like he's never going to be that type of player for Man City. Every time I've watched him, he's sort of like, he's got he's tied down to a certain system and a way of playing. And it's sort of like knocking it sideways. Doesn't like to dwell on the ball too much. And I feel like he's not that trusted in the big games either under Pep. I'd still feel like it's just a bit of a random signing for them to make. Ryan, how are you feeling, seeing that he's doing from afar?
Yeah, I did see some stats knocking around on Twitter. His goal contributions, his dribbles, his fouls, and they're all down. And I get it, because Man City, he's just a piece of the jigsaw. He's just a part of their system. At Villa, he was an individual. He was a maverick. He'd take a game by the scruff of the neck. But with City, he just feels to have fell in line, and he's just lost all his personality. I feel. I'm still waiting for a moment where I see Jack Grealish's name's in lights. He hasn't had that. What is he scored against Norwich? And that's probably about it, isn't it? I think he got one in the Champions League, but he hasn't really announced himself at City. And the invasion into his personal life as well now. At the Villa, it weren't a secret that he used to like to go out and have a party and a drink, but now them sort of stories are making the front page of all the tabloids. It's all over social media, so a bit more intrusion into his life that way. So, no, £100 million. I think if you're a City fan, you're thinking, oh God, did we really need that? They couldn't get Kane, so should they have gone out and got another striker? But they're second in the league at the minute anyway, so they're playing well without a striker. But yeah, bit of a strange one.
Justin?
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, it'll always remain a very odd signing as far as City's side. I understand why Jack wanted to go, and if you're going to leave, you're going to want to join the best team you possibly can to give yourself the best chances. Obviously, he's motivated by the trophies that he wants to win, the medals he wants to win. So you go to the team that's almost guaranteed to put those, and he will win trophies there. I don't think there's any doubt about it. How many he wins, we'll find out. But I sort of understand why he went there. We've battered this all summer, didn't we, this topic? But I'll never understand why Pep Guardiola decided it was the man for him, because it's just a bizarre signing. Looking at their squad, they're so light up the top. To spend £100 million on a player, and they've got 6 or 7 of his type already in the squad. It's a bizarre signing, and like Ryan and you have said, he's all he is a small piece in a big pond now, a small fish in a big pond. At Villa, he was everything, wasn't he? If he'd have stayed at Villa, we've been over this. They'd have built a statue for him. He'd have been a hero forever. He decided to go. I think we've all got over it now. Whatever he does now, it's nothing to do with us. We've moved on now. We've got a new manager. We've got some good players, and we're building for the future. And he's made his bed now, so he's got to lie in it. I think he's made a massive mistake. I know that he'll probably come back, and the City fans will come back and say, "Well, we're going to win this, and this, and this." But that's, for me, not the be all and end all. And it's a shame that he felt like that. But he made his decision and he went. And I don't think he's reveling in it. I think, like you said, the statistics, they're all down the way they play, the way he wants him to play. Guardiola wants him to play, doesn't suit him at all. The amount of times I've seen him hugging the touchline wide on the left, and he picks the ball up. And with Villa, you just wait for him to drop that shoulder, go past someone, draw another player, and go past him, and then lay the ball off or go for it. With City, he just gets the ball, lays it back 5 yards, gets it again, lays it back 5 yards. It's just. He's almost ruining him, in my opinion. But it's not for me to say. No, I couldn't give a toss. He's gone. It's their problem now. So good luck to him. If he wants to go and do what he wants to do, go and get drunk every weekend and be on the front pages all the time rather than back pages, sound. Go for it, kid.
I think just that the last thing I will say, the weirdest part about it for me is why sign a player and take his key characteristics away from his game and transform him into something completely different. It's bizarre to me. It's like signing a world-class striker and sticking him in central midfield. It's just weird. So we'll move on then. Luke, do you feel like we'll make any changes for this game? Do you think Ashley Young might sit this one out, or do you think Danny Ings might start?
I actually think Ashley Young might stay in the team. I thought he did well in the game yesterday. I think Gerrard will probably favour his experience again, perhaps. I think defensively, Young might be a good choice. It really depends on, I think, how Gerrard decides to approach the game tactically. The only one I thought that might maybe get rotated for this one was potentially Leon Bailey. I felt like, we've all seen he's clearly got talent. There's, glimmers of that in every game he features in. But I I think, he just needs to perhaps sometimes release the ball a bit quicker. It seems like he kind of always looks for the skill first rather than perhaps the pass. And I think maybe in a game like this one against City, I don't know whether Gerrard might perhaps bring somebody else in for this one and bring Bailey on later in the game. But then again, if he decides to play a more counter-attacking game, which we might have to, then I guess the pace on the break could be useful as well. So I'm not sure really with changes. I don't think there'll be many changes, one or maybe two at most, but they're the only ones I can really see, to be honest. I think the midfield is nailed on at the moment. I think they look really solid at the minute.
Yeah, he's really took a keen liking to Ramsey as well, hasn't he? Who's sort of nailed on for that. You say nailed on that position, hasn't he? We spoke about this at the start of the season that, he never really looked that confident, did he, in that position? He always felt like he didn't belong in that team. When that youth player comes in and he looks like he's not 100% confident that he owns that position. But now he's got that little bit of a swagger about him, hasn't he? Does anyone want to add anything on Ramsey?
I agree with you. I think Ramsey's nailed on. He's potentially, could he surpass what Jack did for us? Is that too early to say things like that? I don't know. As I say, my brother absolutely loves him, and I've seen quite a few quotes today on people saying how much they rate Ramsey. I do wonder whether we was talking earlier on the group chat, and I do wonder whether he will leave Young out because. Not for his experience. He's got a lot of experience, but he's just his legs. I mean, 4 days, 2 games, 4 days. We're not going to see a lot of the ball on Wednesday night as well, so we're going to be chasing around a lot. So, is he going to want to get more legs in there? I don't know. Could he even go 2 up top and play a sort of diamond? I don't think he's ever done that in his career. Is that an option? So stick another midfielder in there and just have Nakamba holding maybe Louise and McGinn, and then Ramsey, in the focal point behind the front two, and the front two keep them as busy as possible. I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting team selection on Wednesday night, which way he goes.
Yeah, he's going to. To be fair, I didn't think he'd change much for Palace, and no, he did. So, he threw one in there, didn't he? A bit of a change.
I think Wendy, I might play order. I think so. I think when we get that ball, we're gonna have to hold it, and he can hold it up, and he can spot a pass, and he does work hard, Wendy. His work rate is top notch, so I think he might come in. I was impressed.
He might get some more space against City as well.
Yeah, and I think possibly Bailey might stay in because I think against City you're gonna have to look for the counter, aren't you? So we do need that pace up front. But I was quite impressed on the weekend of how we looked more composed on the ball. We seemed to have half a second more every player, just to calm down and pick that pass, which we didn't have against Brighton. So, this is like early days, but we are like laying. You know me. If you've watched this podcast, you know that I love laying foundations, and I just think this is just a start. This philosophy that Gerrard's bringing in and the tactics and the way we're going to play, it's just the beginning. It's going to evolve so much. We're just on we're just scratching the surface at the minute. So can't wait for every game now.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We are going to do a fan cam for this game as well, as it's a home game. So we'll go in for our score predictions then. So ever since the season started, the guys will back me up. I've said I feel like we will get a result against Man City. And I've just had a feeling that we'll get something. So I'm going to kick it off. Dean in the comments is going to be probably screwing at what I'm about to say. So Dean, I'm going for a 2-2, mate. What are you saying?
Oh, you've started something now, haven't you?
He's going to unsubscribe.
I'm just waiting for a positive comment. Come on, Dean, you can do it.
We've won 2 games in a row, and he still ain't happy. Ryan?
Yeah. I'm going to go 1-1. Sorry, Dean.
Luke?
1-1. I do think we'll get something.
Yeah, I'm actually the same as Ryan. I think 1-1 as well. I'm feeling good too, lads. So.
He's going to be
crossed.
screwing Justin.
Dino's definitely gone, mate.
Look, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it? I just want every second for us to compete in that game. I want every pass to have a purpose. I want every tackle to mean something. I want City to know when they come off that pitch that they have played Villa on Wednesday night. And I'm just going to predict that we will not lose. That's it. We will not lose on Wednesday. I'm confident we're going to get something out of them. So stick that in your pod, Dino.
Nah, we're only having a laugh, Dean. But what I will say...
we are joking, yeah.
If we do get a result, Dean, you can never be negative in the comments ever again. If we get a result against City at home. Right, so I'll end it there. We have a fan cam.
Even Pete Wicks has said a draw as well, his usual input.
Yeah, but he's bang on.
He's on a roll, isn't he, Pete? He's on a roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's with us.
Lump
Pete's
on
with
it.
us.
Lump on that draw. Lump on it, man.
Buzzing. So we'll be back, fan cam, like I say. And then the episodes are coming thick and fast now. There's so many games. So there's going to be episodes in December virtually every couple of days. So loads of content for you. And like, subscribe, up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.